Tonight's headlines: Bush to Iraq. You have weeks, not months. CBS News learns of new evidence against Saddam. Mandela slams President Bush on Iraq. Americans cut off from discount drugs. Also tonight, investigators try to figure out why a North Carolina factory suddenly blew up. Health Watch gives you a look at the preemie mystery. Why are so many babies born too soon? And everybody has a story. Tonight, how she got the child she always wanted but never expected.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. President Bush told Saddam Hussein today, you have weeks, not months, to come clean about your arsenal and obey United Nations orders to disarm. The president also left open a possible escape hatch for the Iraqi leader, endorsing a Saudi plan to offer Saddam and his top lieutenants exile in some yet-to-be-determined country.
For the sake of peace, this issue must be resolved. Hopefully it can be done peacefully. Hopefully the pressure of the free world will convince Mr. Saddam Hussein to relinquish power. And should he choose to leave the country, along with a lot of the other henchmen who have tortured the Iraqi people, we would welcome that, of course.
Also today, in the showdown with Saddam, 2 more Iraqi scientists refused to submit to private interviews with UN arms inspectors. The Iraqi government invited the chief inspectors back to Baghdad for talks next month, and the leaders of 8 European nations, led by Britain and Italy, declared support for U.S. military action to disarm Iraq. In Congress today, U.S. officials offered new details of their case against Saddam, and as CBS's David Martin reports, it included evidence of Iraqi support for al-Qaeda.
The Bush administration today linked the murder of an American diplomat in Jordan to a senior al-Qaeda operative who had taken refuge in Baghdad after he was wounded during the bombing of Afghanistan.
A recent assassination of our diplomat in Amman, Mr. Foley, that was apparently orchestrated by an al-Qaeda member who's resident in Baghdad.
Deputy Secretary of State Richard Armitage said flatly, there are al-Qaeda in Baghdad, drawing the tightest link yet between the regime of Saddam Hussein and the followers of Osama bin Laden.
Secretary of State Powell will unveil intelligence to back up those claims next week before the UN Security Council, along with other intelligence documenting Iraq's attempts to deceive the UN weapons inspectors.
Satellite photos would show a flurry of activity around suspect weapons sites days, in some cases hours, before UN weapons inspectors arrive. But the photos don't reveal what is being moved, and the Iraqis will no doubt claim the activity was all in a normal day's work. Communications intercepts of senior Iraqi officials telling workers at those sites to make sure they've been cleaned up, and what they are to say to the inspectors when they arrive. But like the photos, the intercepts do not reveal exactly what is being cleaned up. Iraqi defectors who have told the U.S. about mobile biological weapons vans Saddam is hiding. What's lacking is an actual photo of the vans.
The problem is they're parked, we believe, in either one of the many underground facilities or someone's garage.
Powell will not have the kind of smoking gun Adlai Stevenson had when he went before the UN in 1962 to unveil U-2 photos of Soviet nuclear missiles being erected in Cuba.
You can see clearly 3 of the 4 launching pads.
Powell's intelligence will show a suspicious pattern of behavior, the same pattern the world has let Saddam get away with for the last 12 years. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
In South Africa today, a prominent new voice joined the international chorus of protest against President Bush's preparations for war against Iraq. CBS's Tom Fenton reports former South African President Nelson Mandela delivered a fiery speech denouncing the United States and aiming harsh personal criticism at President Bush.
Nelson Mandela, Nobel Peace Prize winner and one of the world's most respected elder statesmen, let the Bush administration have it right between the eyes.
It's a tragedy what is happening, what Bush is doing. But Bush is now undermining the United Nations.
Mandela said he would support action against Iraq only if it's ordered by the UN.
What I'm condemning is that one power with a president who has no foresight, who cannot think properly, is now wanting to plunge the world into a holocaust.
And that wasn't all. He attacked America's record on human rights and for dropping atomic bombs on Japan in World War II.
If there is a country that has committed unspeakable atrocities in the world, it is the United States of America. They don't care.
That brought an unusually subdued reaction from the White House.
Nelson Mandela was a great leader. He remains a great man. But on this, the President and Nelson Mandela do not see eye to eye.
Mandela's emotional blast is an indication of how strongly feelings are running abroad. His attack on American policy may be one man, one voice, but it's a voice that will be heard around the world. Tom Fenton, CBS News, London.
In the war in Afghanistan today, a U.S. Army helicopter crashed during a training flight, killing all 4 crewmen on board. The Black Hawk helicopter went down east of Bagram Air Base, the U.S. military headquarters, north of Kabul. The Army says it appears to have been an accident. There are no indications of enemy fire. A federal judge in Boston today sentenced confessed al-Qaeda follower Richard Reed to life in prison. CBS's Jim Stewart reports on the shoe bomber's dramatic final hour in the spotlight.
The man who will best be remembered for a policy that's forced millions of airline passengers to shuck their shoes before boarding got what he bargained for today: life in prison in a country he professes to hate. His sentencing ended in an angry and unusual exchange with U.S. District Judge William Young. "We are not afraid of any of your terrorist co-conspirators, Mr. Reed," the judge said. "We are Americans. We have been through the fire before." Then Reed got in his last dig, angrily denouncing the U.S. for the torture of Muslims in Iraq before sputtering incomprehensibly and being led from the courtroom struggling and yelling as he left. But it was prosecutors who got the final word.
Reed will now spend the rest of his life in prison, unable to fulfill his delusional quest to destroy democracy in the United States of America in the name of religion.
Reed had earlier pleaded guilty to trying to blow up an American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami in December 2001. Crew members and passengers restrained him after he tried to set off Semtex explosives in the sole of his size 13 sneakers. As part of their sentencing memo, the government included a tape demonstrating just how powerful the shoe bomb was. Then they used an old FAA tape to show what a similar bomb could do to a plane. But it is Reed himself who scares terrorist analysts the most. He's a British citizen who traveled the world on a perfectly good passport. And as reports mount that terrorists are planning another mass casualty attack soon, he's the perfect reminder to authorities that al-Qaeda comes in all sizes and nationalities. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Figures just out from the government today confirm a dramatic slowdown in the U.S. economy. After growing a fairly strong 4% last summer, the economy grew less than 1% in the fall. That news gave investors another reason to dump stocks today, a triple-digit loss for the Dow. Many Americans are taking a financial beating these days trying to pay for prescription drugs. Some have found ways to buy them at big discounts, but it appears not much longer because of what one of the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies is doing. CBS's Cynthia Bowers has late details. Cynthia?
Dan, Americans who get those prescription drugs at a discount through Canadian pharmacies via the internet may be about to lose that good deal.
We're set for stock for the short-term future, not the long-term future.
Through his internet drugstore, Darren Jorgensen supplies hundreds of thousands of Americans with prescription drugs at a fraction of the cost. But he says once he runs out of his current supply, that may be it.
Sourced out other suppliers that are willing to still supply us, but at a premium cost, which will then have to be passed on to the American consumer.
For years, Americans have trekked to Canada to buy drugs at much lower prices. But booming internet sales now mean billions in lost profits to drug makers. Glaxo recently announced it will cut off future shipments to distributors who can't prove their pharmacies aren't selling to Americans. United Pharmacists Limited became among the first to comply because it says it can't risk cutting its Canadian customers off. Glaxo, for its part, says it is pleased at this show of support and expects other distributors to follow suit. The backlash has already begun. One American lawmaker promises within days to introduce legislation designed to force Glaxo to back off.
And they are the leader of the pack. If they are successful, I have no doubt that a lot of other drug companies will follow them.
So the battle lines are drawn. CBS News has been told that just today, Glaxo did cut off one multi-million-dollar Canadian wholesaler. How will this affect Americans? Well, cross-border prescription drug costs could jump 10% in coming weeks. And if the embargo sticks, prices from the internet could ultimately rise to U.S. levels. Dan?
Cynthia Bowers reporting live from Chicago. Coming up next here on the CBS Evening News, tragedy and mystery. Why did this deadly factory blast in North Carolina happen?
Tough heartburn slowing you down? Try Extra Strength Mylanta. Cooling relief that speeds right to where you need it. Nothing's faster. Extra Strength Mylanta. Soothing at the speed of life.
It's a beautiful morning.
Ask your doctor about Vioxx, a prescription medicine from Merck. And find out if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx.
With Crest White Strips, the strip stays for 30 minutes, so it whitens 5 times better. Now we're talking. Crest White Strips. The secret to a whiter smile is in the strip.
Now you can help manage your diabetes anytime, anywhere. This is Glucerna, an ideal food for people with diabetes. Have a delicious snack bar, or a meal bar, or enjoy a rich, creamy shake. Glucerna has the right balance of carbohydrates, fat, and protein. It's clinically proven to help manage glucose levels. Free your mind for other things. And for custom meal plans, visit Glucerna.com. It's time for a taste of freedom.
Powerful new Silverado is here. Still available with a 340-horse Vortec V8.
Had it with itching, flaking, dandruff? You need the Neutrogena T-Gel Power of 3. Unlike ordinary medicated shampoos, T-Gel works on all 3 major scalp conditions. Dermatologists recommend it #1. Stop the itching and flaking. Switch to Neutrogena T-Gel. It works.
Investigators are still searching for the cause of a tremendous explosion and fire that leveled a medical equipment plant in Kinston, North Carolina. The disaster during the day shift yesterday killed at least 3 people and injured dozens more, at least of them 10 critically. CBS's Mark Strassman is covering the impact on a factory and a community.
Skeletal and still smoldering, its loss is their loss.
We're just like family. Our whole plant.
A body blow to these employees of the West Pharmaceuticals factory.
I just heard people hollering, you need to get out, you need to get out, fire in the building. You know?
Many employees yesterday thought terrorists had attacked, and the explosion's cause still puzzles investigators. But its force shattered windows a mile away.
Loud?
It real loud, yeah.
Like?
Just a real big boom.
And broke the heart of Betty Jones.
Oh my gosh, my daughter's in there. It just went all to pieces.
Jones's daughter was Faye Wilkins, one of 3 co-workers killed.
If anybody had anything bad to say about her, I've never heard it. You know, I mean, she was one of them type people. I mean, just says she was a good-hearted person.
These ruins are unsafe for investigators to enter. But inside here last October, state investigators found 15 safety violations, problems with the electrical system's design and use. inaccessible fire extinguishers, and hazardous waste operations. Company officials deny any connection.
But there's nothing in that report that we can see that lead us directly to even an assumption of a cause for the incident.
Tomorrow, investigators hope finally to get inside the building. Whatever this explosion's cause, investigators have all but ruled out any criminal act. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Kinston, North Carolina.
In Flint, Michigan, overnight, a tanker truck loaded with propane gas plunged off a freeway overpass and landed on railroad tracks below. A silent highway camera was rolling as the burning truck erupted into a mighty fireball, shooting flames hundreds of feet into the air. The truck driver was killed. Highway and rail traffic in the Flint, Michigan area was stopped for most of the night. You're watching the CBS Evening News, and up next, an unexplained increase in the number of babies born too soon. The health consequences can last a lifetime.
Still doing those bills, hon?
Just resting with a credit card balance.
You've been feeding on those high interest rates.
I just switched our balance over to a Capital One no-hassle card. We're gonna save $500 a year.
$500?
Switch your high-interest balance to the Capital One no-hassle card for the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates. You could save up to $500 a year.
What's in your wallet?
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez.
And I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
What a marvelous night for the action.
Let's go to the play-by-play.
Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie. Oh, no.
Rejected.
Clyde, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no play for Mr. Gray. Get that man our Just for Men Brush-In Color Gel.
It's specially formulated to penetrate coarse facial hair and gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
Gets rid of strikeouts too. Just for Men Gel. The Rejuvenator.
In this place, I see a lot of gas. I also see a lot of folks taking medicines that don't fight gas. But Gas-X has the most powerful medicine to relieve gas fast. Nothing I've seen works faster. Gas-X beats the bloat fast.
I don't like to hurt me for nothing. If I can do that without having to hurt myself, then I'll do it.
One Touch Ultra requires less blood, so you can test on your arm where it's less painful.
I'll do it every time I should.
The One Touch Ultra.
Will he do something he likes?
Will she make the right choices?
What kind of person will he be?
Will she be happy?
And healthy?
All parents have hopes and dreams for their kids. But one thing is certain about their future.
Who will she grow up to be?
It will be brighter if it is healthier. Talk to your kids about not smoking. They'll listen.
Escalade ESV, the biggest of the breed. Cadillac. Breakthrough.
Work at home and earn big money. Just send $52 to get started. Tyler went for it, and he's not alone.
I ordered it and it seemed like a really great deal.
Tomorrow, the great work at home scam. Before you put a penny in the mail, see our Friday Consumer Alert on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
2 United States Marines have been arrested in connection with the sabotage of parachutes at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, but so far no charges have been filed. 3 Marines were injured in September when their main chutes failed during training jumps. Their reserve chutes worked. Investigators found that suspension lines in 13 parachutes had been cut. The U.S. Energy Department today called it, quote, incomprehensible, the firing of 2 investigators at the nation's top nuclear weapons research facility, the one at Los Alamos, New Mexico. The 2 were featured in an ongoing CBS News investigation of problems at the nuclear laboratory. They were dismissed after they uncovered evidence of theft and security lapses. The 2 have now been rehired, and the lab director has left under fire. The March of Dimes called attention today to a medical mystery. The number of premature births is on the rise and taking a heavy toll on health and the cost of treatment. CBS News medical correspondent Elizabeth Caledon has the latest on the search for answers.
This shirt was actually too big for Justin.
Justin Washington was born November 13, 1994, weighing 1 pound, 8 ounces.
He actually could fit in the palm of your hands.
1 pound, 8 ounces. Delivered at only 24 weeks, doctors told his mother, Dorinda, he had a 25% chance of survival.
His skin was so transparent, you could see the bones, the veins, everything.
For 4 months, he struggled in the hospital, attached to beepers and monitors, dependent on oxygen. All the while, his frightened and guilt-ridden parents wondering,
what did I do wrong? Why can't I have a full-term baby?
Those are questions too many people are asking today as prematurity rates are soaring, up 27% in the last 20 years. And of 476,000 premature births in this country every year, only half can actually be explained.
Science hasn't yet been able to tell us why women go into preterm labor.
The problem is, science is able to keep even the smallest babies alive. Estimates are it costs $11 billion a year to care for these tiny citizens, and many go on to have a lifetime of disabilities.
Survival rates are in the 90 to 95% range, which is why the morbidity begins to be the big concern. They don't die and they live with long-term problems. Learning disabilities, hearing disabilities, visual impairments, cerebral palsy.
Considering his size at birth, Justin Washington was relatively lucky. He looks like a healthy 8-year-old boy, but
he's not fine today. He has vision problems. You know, we're having problems in school with learning disabilities.
He survived his rocky debut, but being born too early could slow down Justin and thousands like him the rest of his life, unless medicine speeds up research into the puzzle of prematurity. Elizabeth Caledon, CBS News, New York.
The stepfather of a 3-year-old boy abandoned at a store in Salt Lake City is now under observation at a mental hospital in Nevada. He's believed to be the man seen in this store surveillance video, entering with the child and leaving without him. Authorities still have not been able to locate the child's mother.
Jesse and I have built a lifetime together. We're each other's whole world. You just never know what high cholesterol and heart disease really mean until someone you love has a heart attack. You see, diet and exercise didn't lower his cholesterol enough. So as he was recovering, we asked the doctor about adding Zocor.
Zocor is a prescription medicine and is not for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems.
Our doctor told us Zocor, along with diet, could significantly lower his cholesterol.
And it's working.
And Zocor is proven to reduce the risk of a heart attack in people with high cholesterol and heart disease.
Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience and about any medicines you are taking.
Oh, Jesse.
I know. I love you too.
Yes. Ask your doctor about Zocor. It's your future. Be there.
Let's stay together.
Wish your dentures were this comfortable? Bob's denture adhesive is C-Bond.
Motor for hold, love it for comfort.
Only C-Bond clings wall to wall with 3 strong adhesives in a thin velvet soft wafer. No gaps, no ooze. C-Bond, buy it for hold.
Love it for comfort.
Still scratching that itchy scalp? Scratching isn't healthy for it. Maximum Strength Scalpicin promotes a healthier scalp. It stops itching, stops scratching. Not a shampoo, Maximum Strength Scalpicin is a clear, odorless liquid with the itch medicine doctors recommend. Plus scalp nourishing aloe. Promote a healthier scalp with Scalpicin.
Grandpa, how come you always chug your Metamucil?
Because if Grandpa doesn't drink his fiber fast, it gets thick and gritty.
Mommy doesn't chug her fiber?
That's because Mommy found an easier way to take fiber. Benefiber.
Benefiber?
It never gets thick and gritty like Metamucil can.
So Mommy doesn't have to chug it.
Benefiber's taste-free, too. Mommy can even put it in her coffee or yogurt.
Mommy's pretty smart.
Benefiber makes taking fiber easier.
If you have a cold and high blood pressure, you should know that decongestants in these medicines can raise your blood pressure. So why take them? Take decongestant-free Coricidin HBP. Powerful relief that won't raise your blood pressure.
Coming up tonight on News Channel 5 at 6, he was released from jail early as a way to ease the budget, but now he's been arrested for raping a woman. That story at 6.
Under the heading of Everybody Has a Story, correspondent Steve Hartman found one in Buckhannon, West Virginia.
You'd think it would be an honor to be chosen number 100. But this woman,
Mary, the last name Rosencrantz,
would have rather been 101.
Any time besides this would have been better.
Fate picked Mary right in the middle of moving. Her stuff all in boxes, her house all in chaos. And although we could have found a better time,
when are you all leaving?
We could not have found a better story.
Young and dumb. I was 18 when I met him and 18 when I married him.
Oh, same year.
Oh, very much the same year, the same month.
She was married to a guy she'd known 3 weeks, and 25 years later, still is.
If I could lay the world at her feet, I would do that.
Ray works at a wood processing plant. Mary is a stay-at-home mom. They say they never planned on a big family, but got one anyway after trying for a girl. Repeatedly.
One day, I just said to Ray, I can't do this again, no more.
And so 5 boys it was. Until just recently, when Ray and Mary decided to finally adopt a beautiful, brown-eyed boy.
Hi.
That's right, a boy. Obviously, the sex of the kid was no longer an issue. What mattered this time was need, both the child's and Mary's.
The first 15 months of his life, his parents did not get him out of the crib. He was totally withdrawn. We're talking a 2-year-old in depression.
Look at this!
We were told there was a good chance he would never speak.
I want to eat it!
I think right now there's a good chance he'll never shut up.
Exactly.
Brandon is now 5 and has come a long way in overcoming his abuse. Unfortunately, this kid was just dealt a lousy hand. He has muscular dystrophy, too, and will soon require almost constant care.
Push your foot.
That's why Ray and Mary are moving into a cheaper, easier mobile home. Which begs the question, why did they even take on Brandon in the first place?
Does it in any way have anything to do with your childhood?
That's getting in a touchy area.
Mary says when she was 11, she was abused too, by a friend's father. She says she blocked it out completely until just a few years ago, when she decided not only to face her past, but to fix it.
I'm grateful that God could take what happened to me and turn it around and let me help someone else.
And perhaps God was grateful too, because just a couple months ago, Mary got her first granddaughter. Guess we didn't come at such a bad time, after all. Steve Hartman, CBS News, Buckhannon, West Virginia.
Dan Rather, CBS News, reporting for the CBS Evening News. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News. The Great Work-at-Home Scam, our Friday Consumer Alert tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
From your news and information leader,